Okay, so two things before I start my speech. Number one, I know my visual aids are kind of wonky, so like you can't. It's backwards basically. I couldn't figure out how to flip the camera, so I'm sorry about that. Number two, the lighting is really bad, but this is the quietest spot I could find, and we're just gonna have to deal with it. So I'm just gonna start my speech right now. So online schooling has become a really popular option nowadays, especially after COVID. It really picked up because, obviously there was a global pandemic. People had to stay inside, and going to school wasn't an option. So people picked up online schooling, and a lot of people after COVID kind of died down and it wasn't raging, they decided to stay with online schooling for many different reasons. There were a lot of really good reasons to stay with online schooling, but there were also cons. Like, there are pros and cons to literally almost everything. And that goes the same for online schooling. So basically, some pros to online schooling is that you get a lot of flexibility, right here, flexibility. You have a lot of flexibility when it comes to online schooling. You can go anywhere. You can be in your room, you can be in your kitchen, you could go on the go, you could take a trip and still be able to do your classes and your homework and everything. And you can have a lot of balance as well. Right here, balance up there. You can have a lot of balance as well where you can kind of juggle many different things. For example, while you're in class or doing your homework, you can also get up and do other things. For example, like you could have a part-time job. It's easier to have a job when you're with on online school rather than when you're in-person school. Because when you're in person school and you have a part-time job, you're going to have to commute from here to there and kind of juggle like going to classes and going to school and going to your job at the same time. And also for online schooling, there's no commute. Right here, no commute. So, this means like you obviously don't need to drive anywhere to go to school unless you don't have Wi-Fi at home. Then you would have to go to like an internet cafe or a library or something. So that would be one of the cons. Hey, like you need Wi-Fi, you need certain things for school like devices and your books and all that type of stuff. And if you have really good time management skills, this is a very good option because you can also going back to like the juggling many things, having good time management skills is a super important thing to have in life, not just online schooling, but it's very good to have in online schooling. And there's options for every type of learner. If you're a visual learner, which means like, you need to look at things and kind of like read and process that information to learn better, that's great. And also if you need to like listen and you do better with listening, you can also do that. You can take notes. You can not take notes. Maybe you're good at memorization. You just remember this stuff. There's many different options for each type of learner. And, but there are also not good things about being in online school. Like, there's not a lot of in-person interaction. So you're kind of like just staring at your computer screen a lot. And you're not meeting new people. I mean, obviously you can go outside of your school, your schooling hours or whatever, and meet new people and, that kind of stuff. But you don't really meet classmates. You don't really talk to them much. Your teacher, it's hard to get a hold of them sometimes because you have to send out emails and it might take a while for them to respond. You might need an answer right away. And also there's technological difficulties. If your school website crashes, technological difficulties. Oh, that says requirements. It's supposed to be difficulties. When you have technological difficulties, for example, like your school website crashes, things like that, you're gonna have to like figure out a way to deal with that. there's no really easy solution. You gotta kind of just sit down, wait until it passes, and you can get back online again. And there's a lot of distractions when you're in online school. If you live with your family, there and you have a lot of siblings, there might be a lot of yelling and screaming, and you might not have a nice quiet spot to go sit down and do your work. So you might have to like go somewhere else, for example, library, and just kind of get away from all the noise and all the distractions. And also because you're on your computer, you kind of have access to anything. So you could go, for example, on YouTube, and you could get really sidetracked from your assignments and that kind of stuff. We don't want that to happen. Fewer networking opportunities. For example, you're not going to have a chance to look at a person in person and be like, and they offer you something like, oh, like, we have this upcoming position over here, and your skill set really uses, of course, you can always have an email to do that. Like, they can always send you an email. But you're not going to be able to have that connection in person. So that's a really big con. Personally, I do online school, and I can say that it's really not for me, but I'm going to, I still have to go to school, and this is kind of the best option for me right now. But if things were different and if my situation was different, I would not be doing online school. Thank you.